This was the structure that we last discussed.
No, sir. Cleaning, sir.
What was that? Oh, yeah, there's a small change. There's
Yes, sir.
one more change. This was the one, right? So we were talking about the name. In fact, this wasn't the one. So what would be the name of this compound? Everyone, let's start writing the name of this compound in chat. Come on, let's try. Let's write the name of this compound in chat. Shazib says it's hexane. It can't be a simple one, it has a branch. Zyme says 3-methylpentane. Vasa says 2-ethylbutane, so does Kabir. Okay, let's see who else. We have approximately 9 participants in the class. I have only 4 names so far. If you agree with somebody else, just say that you agree with their name. That's fine by me. 2 or 3 people in class can come up with the same name, like Vasa and Abdul Kabir just did. Ayan says 3-ethylbutane. Okay, what about girls? Rafi says 2-ethylbutane. Actually, that's similar to what Vasa and Abdul Kabir said. Now Ayan also says the same, 2-ethylbutane. Okay, let me tell you. So far, only Zyme's correct. How? Let's talk about that. The straight longest chain is not this one. This is not the straight longest chain. It might seem straight, but it's not the longest chain. Why? This one has only 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon atoms. Which is not correct because if we go move like this, this is the straight longest chain. Whether you start from the right or you start from the bottom, you'll end up having 5 carbons in a chain that is directly connected with single bonds. So straight doesn't mean that what's looking straight. Straight means what's connected with bonds is straight. Okay? And you don't cross a bond twice when counting the number of atoms. Now, either you can start from the bottom or go all the way to right for numbering, or you can start the numbering from the right and go all the way to the bottom. And in both ways, you'll come up with 5 carbon atoms. Hence, the longest chain. 4 carbon atom chain cannot be the longest chain. 5 is supposed to be the longest chain. Okay? So first of all, the parent chain has 5 carbon atoms. And what about the branch? The branch only has 1. When coming up with the name, take a look. This would be 3 hyphen methyl, because it has only 1 carbon atom in the branch, pentane. That's why I said Zyme's correct. Do we all understand this? If you have any questions, please ask.
So number कैसे पता लगते हैं 3 लिखा है?
Okay, let's start numbering them. It's very easy, by the way. Okay, this one is first carbon, this one is second carbon, this one's third, this one's fourth, and this one's fifth carbon, right? Even if you start from right hand side and go all the way to the bottom, the numbering would stay the same for this carbon atom only. Hence, 3-methylpentane. And this is the one which is directly bonded to the branch. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Good. Anybody else having a question? Okay, so those students who were coming up with the parent chain having the name butane were actually wrong with point number 1. Remember, in our first point, the straight longest direct chain is the chain that we are supposed to have. And with 5 carbon atoms, this is the longest chain. The one with 4 carbon atoms cannot be considered the longest chain in that case. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that for practice, I'm going to write, I'm going to draw a few compounds here, and you're going to tell me their name one by one. All right. So you're going to write the name in chat. We're going by compound by compound. Let's get started. Okay. What about this one? Let's write the name of this compound in chat. And make sure your chat goes to everyone. It's not private. So today's class will only be a practice session. A practice session for going through the names. Shazib says it's 3-methylhexane. Okay, Zoha says the same. Why are you putting a space in name? When I specifically wrote that he cannot put up a space in name. This goes for both Shazib and Zoha. Give a space after hyphen. Yes, what about the rest of the class? Rafi says the same, 3-methylhexane. Okay, the Nisha enzyme has the same thoughts. It means you're slowly grasping it. All right, let's try another compound. So what about this one? What would be the name of this compound? Shazib, though you're correct with the name, but this time you're not correct with spelling. Zoha, you're correct, beta. Good. Same goes for Abdul Kabir. Good work, Zain. Correct. Rafin Vase. That's good. So, moving on. This one. What about this one? No, Zoha, this can't be hexane. Good work, Saim. Slightly wrong, Shazib. One, Shazib, you're wrong with the spelling. Two, Shazib, you're not correct with numbering. Kabir, you're not correct with spelling. And now you're correct. You too, Shazib. Same goes for Vase. Good, good. Okay, I'm going to make a small change and let's see if I can get you all confused or not. What about this one? No, Zaim, that's not correct, Zaim. Think about it better. Shazib, that's not correct either. Good work, Vasi, you're correct. Rafi, you aren't correct. Nisha, multiple mistakes, beta. Spelling, numbering. Kabir, you're not correct with numbering, beta.
सर मुझे समझ नहीं आई
क्या समझते हैं यार?
कुछ भी समझ
Numbering
नहीं आई
pattern or the step number one?
सर पता नहीं सर
I think you're completely confused. So let's start over, right?
यस सर
Okay. So first of all, you're supposed to find the straight longest chain. Okay. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to find out different chains in this structure. Okay. Try to follow me, and this time I'm going to annotate it with the help of a spotlight. Okay. Take a look. One chain can be the straight chain. This is first carbon atom, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh, right? So either we start from left to right or right to left, the number of carbon atoms would remain the same, and there are 7. So this chain can be named as heptane, but right now we're not going to go with names. We're still going to try if we are finding the straight longest chain correctly or not. Let's go the other way. We're going to start from the right and we're going to move all the way to the bottom. So first carbon atom, second carbon atom, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, leave this one out, seventh, and eighth. Now, this chain is bigger than the previous one. Whether you start from the downside or go all the way to the right, or you do the vice versa, this chain has 8 carbon atoms, so it might turn into an octane. So this one's bigger than the previous one, longer than the previous one actually. So what we are going to do is that we are going to pick this one as parent chain. All right. Now comes the part where we need to number it. Just a second. Now, let's mark the chain. The chain works all the way like this, right? And this one, this one is, just a second, it's poorly drawn. This one is the branch. See? So now comes the part where we are supposed to number it. We can number it from the either side. Either we can number it from right going all the way to the bottom, or from the bottom going all the way to the right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go with both types of numbering. If I start from the right hand side, this is number 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, if I do otherwise, this becomes 1, this becomes 2, the corner one becomes 3, this one becomes 4, this one becomes 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Which numbering is correct? According to our rule number 3, the numbering for which the carbon atom that is directly connected to the branch, and this one is connected to the branch, gets the lowest possible number. If I start from right, go all the way to the downward portion, this carbon atom gets number 6. If I start from the bottom, go all the way to the right, this carbon atom gets number 3. So this means this numbering is correct, the other numbering was wrong. If the other numbering was wrong, I'm going to erase it now. So this numbering was wrong. That's why I've erased it. Going with this numbering, this would give us name in the form of, first of all, the number, then the hyphen sign, then how many carbon atoms are there in the branch, Hayan?
So one.
And that would be meth, right? What was the suffix of the branch? That was "-ile", right? How many carbon atoms are there in the parent chain?
So 8.
And the suffix, the prefix for that was
Octane.
oct, and ane was the suffix actually. So
Yes,
combining all of this, you get the name 3-methyl-octane. That's how you're supposed to do it. See, drawing the lines actually give us point number 1. Counting the numbers in your mind give us the correct idea where to get started with numbering. Starting from the right portion, going all the way to the other side, means in this case, we need to start numbering from the bottom, going all the way to the right, will give us the correct numbering, and that we will be done with point number 3. The point number 4 gives us the idea how to write the name. So 3, then hyphen, then meth, then "-ile", then oct, then ane, and we come up with the complete name. Point number 5, make sure that you're not making any mistakes while writing the name. So missing out not writing any spaces, not putting any spaces, or writing the first letter capital. Just make sure that we are writing the name in a correct way. So going point by point from 1 to 5 will give you the idea. Giraffe. Sorry, मुझे नहीं समझ आया.
मिस्टेकनली होगा।
हाँ ओके ओके जी आयान आपको क्लियर है?
Yes, sir.
अच्छा आयान कुछ कंपाउंड्स ट्राई करेंगे तो फर्दर क्लैरिफाई होगा because nomenclature takes practice. That's why I said कि if today we keep on practicing that would be good for us because it would make it easier for us because by practicing by coming up with different names for compounds we'll get the idea, we'll get the grasp inshallah. ठीक? So let's continue and this time you're going to tell us the name. Say, we're not going to do it by chat. Let's make sure you practice it. For the rest of you, you do not need to actually put it in everyone's chat. Do it privately. Take it. Send the name to me in a private chat. So let's continue. Okay. What would be the name of this compound? There is a small mistake with this compound. It's not doing it correctly. Just give me a minute, Pita. The carbons are not. Now it is doing it correctly. Now, let's try the name now. For the rest of you, you are going to write it in a private chat. Okay? And for Ayan, you're going to say it out loud. Ayan, do you know how to annotate? Okay, let's not do it in chat. If you know how to annotate, let's start annotating. I'm going to allow annotations. Now, the annotations are allowed on your part. On different part of the screens, I want you to write the names. Go ahead, don't do it in chat, do it on the screen. I hope each and every single one of you knows how to annotate. Shazib, do it by using text, not a pen. It's going to be a little messy. It would be difficult to read. So use the text symbol and then annotate.
So 2-ethyl pentane.
2-ethyl pentane. Okay. Let's wait a little. The students are trying to annotate. So let's see what they come up with. Shazib has already written the name. Can you see it on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What do you think about your name and this one? The one Shazib wrote. Okay, for the rest of the students, come on, get started. You were very quick when you were writing in chat. If you don't know how to annotate, let me know. I can always help. Vasa, you need to complete the name. Oh, come on, students, you don't need to write it in chat. Rafe, Shazay, Tanisha, don't send me messages privately. Write it on, annotate it over here. Annotations are completely allowed. Okay, Rafi, draw it then. Okay, for anyone who's using a phone and cannot write text, draw it. I'm fine by that. 3-methylheptane, okay, and other students there? Vasa is still trying to write something. I think Vasa has the same name in mind. So most of the students are coming up with the name 3-methylheptane. Ayan, do you think they are right?
सर मेरे ख्याल में तो मैं ठीक हूँ.
Okay. Okay, let me put it in this way. Ayan, do you think you're correct with point number 1?
तो parent chain बनाने वाला.
Right. Locating the straight longest chain.
Yes. So sir 6 ही बनती है longest chain वाली.
नहीं. Think again. 7 नहीं बनता.
Yes sir.
Actually, an inverted U would be containing 7. Right?
Yes sir.
So let's do it this way. Okay? If we start from this side, move all the way to this side, and move from here all the way to here. 7 carbon atoms, right? And this one becomes the branch. Numbering would start from this side. This must be 1, and that way this would get 3. Okay? Hence the name 3-meth, and "-ile" and "-hept" and "-ane", so 3-methylheptane. Right? Do you get the point, Ayan?
Yes sir.
Okay, let's make a small change in this structure and try it again. What about this one? It's actually a cleverly drawn structure. The structure can be drawn by 2 more or by many more different ways. Come on, let's start annotation, students. Whether you can draw it or you can write it, let's put the name on in the form of annotations over here on the screen. For those who are unable to annotate because of the usage of font, they may write it in chat. And please, this time, come up with a chat for everyone, not a private chat.
So 4-methylheptane.
No, that's not right. Take a look at what Shazib wrote. Or you can also go with the chat section, and Zaim has
Oh
already
sorry
given the
yes,
name
yes
over
sir.
there.
It's Shazay वाला से.
Actually, Shazib and Zaim has written the same thing. It's ethyl, not methyl, because the branch this time has 2 carbon atoms. 4-ethylheptane, right? Do you get the point?
Yes sir.
Good, good. Now, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to wind up the class a little early, and you may pick up your book. You may pick up any book in the world that consists of different alkanes, and you can start practicing their names. Try to pick up simpler alkanes with only one branch. The alkane more than one branches are named differently, and that's beyond the requirements of our syllabus. Even this one is beyond the requirements of our syllabus. So we went a little far, a little ahead of our syllabus to do that. Well, you can take different structures from the internet or from different books and practice them on your own. Okay. We are going to wind up nomenclature tomorrow, and we're going to start with the next topic in the book on the same page. Let me clarify which page is that. And this one, right? So our next topic over here, as you can see, is isomerism. Right after the nomenclature of alkanes, we're supposed to study isomerism. So we'll study the isomerism of alkanes. This topic contains isomerism of alkanes as well as of isomerism of double bonded compounds. Let me tell you, I'm only going to go with the first half of this topic, isomerism of alkanes, not alkenes, tomorrow. All right, that's the work for tomorrow. Basically, we are done for today. Any questions before I wind up the class?
No, sir.
All right, good. Take care, students. Allah Hafiz.